Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today with some Town Hall 9 bowler attacks. We're going to show you a couple different variations. I still love bowlers at Town Hall 9. And by the way, guys, I know a lot of you have already reached out to me on Twitter to get max bowlers if your clan doesn't have them. I filled almost every single one of those requests, at least if I caught them in time on Twitter. I know a lot of clans don't have access to level 3 bowlers. I'd certainly be happy to deliver those to you guys anytime I'm actually around my phone. So getting into these attacks, we're really going to tackle these kind of strange bases like this, kind of the wide open dead zone bases at Town Hall 9. We'll do one compact base design as well, and I also want to change up the troop composition as well to help you guys out if you're more comfortable using Valkyries or if you're more comfortable just using a few wizards and then back-end hogs. So we will show you a couple different variations. You will want to note that all of these attacks will, and I'm a huge fan of this by the way, will only involve wall breakers or no wall breakers at all, and no jump spells. So we'll be using all 4 of our spell slots, or should I say all 10 of our spell slots, all on non-mobility spells. So no earthquakes, no jump spells. This is definitely by far my favorite attack strategy at Town Hall 9. Your heroes, you can actually do this with heroes as low as level 5 or 10 if you're going up against an easier base. Now I haven't really walked you through this attack plan. By the way, RIP all those wizards in the core there. That was very unfortunate that the wizards all went around the base instead of sticking with the Valkyries or the heroes, as you can see, and I think one bowler left standing. He just went down, so it didn't really end perfectly here on this attack for Rayville, but you can see he has tons of Valkyries still alive, and his heroes actually remain alive as well. And the heroes are far from max, about midway through the progression at Town Hall 9, so very nice attack there against a pretty formidable base. So now we're going to go ahead and do a replay on good old Vexthal. It's been a while since I've shown you a replay using my Town Hall 9 account, but I'm using the same strategy. Basically, I've cut down my giants from 12 to 10, so it's a little bit of an update on the strategy. I've added 2 baby dragons. I've always used at least 1 baby dragon, but I love baby dragons. They're awesome for cleanup, and they're just brilliant, creating a really, really nice funnel, and I've just found that I don't need 12 giants. I can get by with 10 very easily. I'm curious, you guys out there, if you guys use less than 10 giants, I'm kind of tempted to even try 8 giants and see if I can add a few more hogs or a few more wizards and just see how that works as well. But basically, I'm going to let my giants go ahead and break through that perimeter wall. No wall breakers at all here, and then I'm going to go ahead and rage as soon as my bowlers and the rest of the troops get through that first wall and start engaging the enemy queen and the enemy clan castle. It's really a really simple attack here. You can see my baby dragon still alive, helping with the clean, well, it's not clean up yet, but helping with the additional damage around the perimeter there. And you can see I'm kind of waiting at this point to decide where I'm going to add in my hogs. Now, you kind of have to do this ad hoc, or ad hog, I guess. Sorry for the awful pun, but you kind of have to wait to see where your troops go, and then you can gauge the best area to deploy your hogs. So I decided to go ahead and deploy my hogs from around 9 o'clock. I held back 3 wizards, by the way, because this base especially had all those big high hit point units around the outside, so I always like to hold back a few wizards to help with the cleanup in that regard. But you can see my hogs actually make it all the way through the base up until they run into this Tesla farm. Now, this was a first attack on this base, so I did not know they had a Tesla farm on the outside like that, but, you know, given those little walls, I suspected something might be there, maybe like 2 or 3 or even 4 Teslas, and indeed it was. But you can see all my giants are still alive at this point. Haven't used my queen's ability, so I'm not worried at all about this Tesla farm out here, and in fact, I'm going to keep most of my bowlers alive, or all of my bowlers alive, and most of my giants alive, my heroes alive. It's just a really, really easy attack, and you don't have to plan for ages on these type of attack, guys. You just, you know, you look at the base, it should only take you maybe 2 minutes or less to figure out what the best entry point is. And look at this base, for example, by Iron Butterfly. This base is a little bit more compact in design, and with this replay and the next replay specifically, actually with all of these replays, the queen isn't easily accessible. The queen are centralized. Now, if the queen is easily accessible along the perimeter, well, that's a no-brainer. That's where you're going to want to enter the base from. The giants will hopefully trigger all those giant bombs, keep your bowlers alive. That's why you delay a little bit on the deployment, and you'll be good to go engaging that queen. And of course, you guys know that most savvy defenders will go ahead and stack their double giant bombs opposite side the queen if the queen queen is vulnerable. So basically, you're going to go ahead and engage the queen, and if you're using Hog Riders like I did and like Iron Butterfly is here, just make sure you avoid the obvious double giant bomb areas, especially if it's a first clean hit on an unscouted or unattacked base. So again here, the same fundamentals. Iron Butterfly is going to go ahead and be very patient on the hogs. He's going to trickle them in. He actually does a little bit better of a job dispersing the hogs on the back end than I did. I kind of clumped mine a little bit too much there. I'll be honest with you guys, I got a little lucky on my previous replay that there wasn't a double giant bomb right upon that entry point. So I did notice that on the replay there. I was like, ooh, I didn't think of that, but I think I probably would have still had it no matter what. But you can see a little bit thin there with the hogs around 2 o'clock, so he adds in the additional 4 hogs that he brought with him, and from here on out, it's going to be another easy finish to this raid. So guys, if you haven't tried these bowler attacks yet, by all means, please do so, guys. They're so much fun, and they're really easy to plan. They're a little bit less intricate than the classic Goho type attacks. Let's end today's episode with this attack by Death. You can see he uses a similar army composition. Actually, this is the army composition I used to use, right? He has a few more wizards. I prefer Baby Dragon, but this actually works out really well as well. So here you can see where the queen is. That's the obvious entry point, exactly where he's going in from. He establishes the funnel. Very, very simple fundamentals again on these attacks, guys. He's going to be very patient here, deploy his heroes, make sure they don't go around. The number one thing that's going to cause you to screw up one of these raids is if your heroes or your Valkyries or your bowlers go around the base in the wrong direction. And even when that happens sometimes, as you saw in the first replay by Rayville, you can still make up for it with this army. Bowlers just do a really good job totally wrecking these bases, especially under the rage spell. So be sure to bring at least 1 rage spell. I know a lot of people prefer 3 heal, 1 rage. Personally, me, I like 2 rage, 2 heal. And what I do is I rage the bowlers as soon as they enter the base, and then I rage the bowlers again towards the center of the base, and then I try to get by with 2 heal spells for my hogs on the back end. As opposed to Death here, who clearly prefers the 3 heal spells, and it actually works out very well for him too. He consistently 3 stars bases, I should say 6-star wars, left and right for Death to you all. And honestly, 6-star wars, not to toot my own horn, but for me on Vexthal as well, with this strategy, I'm pulling off more 6-star wars than I ever have. So guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I just wanted to chat briefly about Clash of Clans to you guys at the very end of this video. I'll actually have a more dedicated video to this topic coming up tomorrow, I believe. And basically, I'm kind of stick to Town Hall 8, 9, and a little bit of 10 for now, just because I find Town Hall 11 a little bit boring with all the spammy attacks right now. So like I said, I'll talk more in depth about that in tomorrow's video. I'll do a little bit of ranting, so stay tuned for that if that's the kind of thing that you're interested to hear about. Otherwise, guys, I hope you're having a beautiful week so far, and thank you so much for watching my video today, guys. And as always, take care.